Howdy.
Boy, howdy.
How you doing?
Welcome to Coming Up for Air, an introspective podcast.
With two goofy ass motherfuckers.
I'm goofy ass motherfucker 1, Jaxon.
Goofy ass motherfucker 2, Brendan.
And let's do our check-in. Let's start with a little check-in. Hit me with it. We want to talk about gym.
Yeah, bro. So I haven't been hitting it as hard as I should be, to be honest with you. But I've been trying to get my push-ups in, at least push-ups, sit-ups, and shit like that, and just stay like kind of consistent. You know what I mean? Because everybody that I ask about, like, hey, bro, like, what's like good advice for like working out? All of them, stay consistent, bro. Stay in the gym. You know what I mean? They're like, bro, like even when you don't want to, fucking go. You know what I mean? So
be sleeping hitting the racks.
Yeah, them motherfuckers are swole though. Like they're big. So I'm like
walking around like Hulk Hogan.
No, real life, bro. I was like, bro, you're gigantic. There's no need. You know what I mean? Like you got 3 kids, bro.
You know,
like,
is it Drake who has the music video where they're like the box, the giant cubes?
No, that's Kanye.
Kanye?
Yeah, Kanye and Lil Pump.
And they're walking around.
Yeah, bro. So it's been tough, but I'm trying to get back on my diet. I'm trying to fucking get back to cooking my own food and stuff like that. My parents keep asking me to cook, and I'm like, damn, bro. I'm like, I can't even get a break, dog.
I've been getting a lot better about cooking my own food. I just made a bunch of chicken.
Yeah, did you make your panini?
Yeah, I made my panini. I made 2 of them. So I ate one before work with some fries, and then I made the second one. And I just put it in the fridge. Fries still busting even after refrigerated.
Really?
By the way, they weren't as good because they weren't as crispy.
Did you have an air fryer?
No.
You need an air fryer.
No. Well, we do have an air fryer.
You should have just put it in an air fryer.
I think it's Max, but I make them differently.
Nah.
No, trust me.
Nah.
Okay, so the reason why, all right, is because I fry them once, then I season them, and then whenever I throw them back in, it's seasoned, like it fries again with the seasoning in it.
Yeah.
Pull them out, re-season them a little bit, and now they taste really potent. So it tastes really good.
You just put them back in the air fryer for the crispy.
Shut up.
I'm just saying. You put them back in there. I'm not.
Whatever, dog. Anyway.
Regardless, I need to get better. I need to be more consistent and actually start going crazy so I can start looking swole, bro. Because like sometimes I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, I see the potential. And I'm like, I could get there, dog. You know what I mean? Like if I get there, it's fucking chicken wraps for everybody. You know what I mean? So I'm chilling. We're getting there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Slowly, but everything's coming together. I feel like everyone, I don't know, I've been talking to multiple people about it too. They're like, bro, I feel like your life's coming together. Like I started to see it. Like so when other people are telling me that, I'm like, I don't see that shit happening, but fuck it, we're here.
Said, sure.
And I'm like, hey, bro, if other people see it, we're here for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something.
Fuck.
I want to talk about the In-N-Out Shootout.
The what?
Yeah. You don't know this story. So
In-N-Out Shootout.
A couple months back, I'm going to In-N-Out, right? Famed Berber establishment. And
I'm terrified.
The In-N-Out that's by my house, right?
Really?
You've been there with me.
Yeah, I've been there with multiple times.
Yeah, so you know how sometimes the line gets stupid long.
Yeah.
It's one of those nights.
Okay.
All right, I just got out of work, and I'm sitting in the line, and to paint a picture for you guys, right? It's basically like there's the drive-through, and then it curves out into the parking lot, and then it curves out into like the plaza parking lot.
Like the entrance.
Yeah, the plaza parking lot. And the line sometimes goes to there. And I was in the plaza, like 4 cars deep, right? And right across the street from the In-N-Out, or like in the same plaza, across the plaza, I guess, is a club, a little dance club, right? A little bar, basically.
Okay. I don't think I've ever seen that.
A lot of people go there. It's busy like all weekends. It's a Saturday night, so it's poppin'. But I get out of the plaza and into the In-N-Out parking lot. And when you're in the In-N-Out parking lot here,
you're in.
Yeah, you're locked in. You can't move.
Yeah, like you're not getting out of that line, bro. Once you decide you want In-N-Out and you're in that line, bro, you're not getting out.
Yeah,
you're getting in.
The plaza is when you go, is it really worth it?
Yeah, like you have a couple cars to decide whether or not to sit in line. Once you hit that right turn into the entrance of In-N-Out, you're like, fuck, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm stuck. So here's what happens, right? Club's popping. I'm locked in. And behind me here, 4 shots. and it's distinctly gunshots. It's not like one of those things where it's like, oh, somebody like burned out or something. And it was a little bit of the way. No, these aren't gunshots. Everybody screams. I see 3 cars behind me rip out, dip, right? And I'm like, well,
you're like, is this In-N-Out worth it?
No. The worst part is that, like, I can't move. I can't decide because the car right behind me hasn't moved. And there's cars locked in on my right and left from the parking spots. And the, like, turnout into the rest of the parking lot is blocked out by cones.
Sick.
So I'm stuck.
Sick.
So I'm sitting there like, oh. And I just, like, slowly sink down a little bit. And then I, like, pause my podcast. I'm just like, oh. And I'm like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it wasn't gunshots. I watch those cars leave. I'm like, maybe I'm just crazy. And then I'm like, no, this car's definitely left.
Mm-hmm.
I see people run out of a club.
And
then a couple minutes go by. Line scoots forward. Line scoots forward some more. Ambulance shows up. Firefighter shows up. I said, oh, no. So the lady, In-N-Out, has people who sometimes, depending on where you're at, walk out, right? Lady comes walking out. And she's like, and I hear her as I'm rolling my window down. She's on, like, the microphone. And she's like, no, I know, I'm okay. I think it's all right.
People in Arizona build different. I don't think y'all understand, bro. I was just talking to my homies about this. Motherfuckers in Arizona think they have something to prove. So when it comes to, like, so there was a shooting out in Tucson at a club called Funky Monkey.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a video out on Twitter where there's girls, like, recording around, and then all of a sudden, like, people are, like, kind of getting down, and then she, like, records this dude jumping over, like, the bar side, and as he's jumping over, he pulls out his Glock. And then all you hear is do 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 do, and he just unloads that bitch.
Oh,
and everyone else just hits the ground, gets down and shit like that. And I'm like, I know I just turned 21, but you won't catch me at clubs, bro. Motherfuckers act crazy, bro, like for no reason because they think they have something to prove. Like motherfuckers genuinely go to clubs.
What was the name of the club again?
Funky Monkey.
Damn, that man went ape shit.
No, I hate you. I actually hate you.
The worst part is that you were about to say no, literally. Anyway, so lady comes up, takes my order, and she's like, you hear those shots? And I said, yeah. And she's like, that's crazy. It's crazy that people are still in line. I said, I couldn't move. I said, I couldn't get out. I would have left otherwise.
Yeah, like, what does she expect? For everyone just to start hitting each other and running into each other?
Yeah, I don't know. But so, anyway, I get to the window, pay the guy. He's like, give me your money. And I'm like, okay, man. Just give me my food. And he's like, those gunshots, am I right? And he said, our line's back or right after. Must have not been that bad. And I was like, that's crazy that you just said that.
They have me. That couldn't have been the first time. That couldn't have been the first time.
Not, because that bar has had reports of shooting quite often. It's a sketch bar.
Yeah, like that. I'm sure everybody in and out is just like, I've seen worse.
Damn it.
Yeah, like damn, that shit happened again. Fuck. Everyone probably
now
just
our
like,
line's gonna be fucked up.
They're like, damn, our timers are gonna be a little messed up. They're gonna get a call.
They do have a timer.
Yeah, they're gonna get a call from corporate. Hey, what happened at from this time to this time? They're gonna be like, shooting.
And the corporate's gonna be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, be better. Be better.
Anyway,
that's crazy.
But yeah, that's my In-N-Out shootout story. Kind of funny. And then I sped past the bar as soon as I got my food.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm out of here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's great. You're going to have to point the bar out. So that way I know never to go there.
Yeah. I got you. For sure.
Because I don't ever want to look at that bar and go, that looks like a nice bar. And then find out that that's the bar. It doesn't
look like a nice bar either.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's not like a super nice looking place.
Sick, dude.
So for our actual topic for today's podcast, we're going to be talking about finding hobbies and experiencing burnout.
Facts.
So, how do you go about finding hobbies that you enjoy? This is an important topic, I think, because of the fact that like hobbies are the core of your life. It is what you were doing when you were not like meeting necessities of like working or whatever the fuck, right? It is doing just the shit you like to do. And finding those things is super important and is super impactful on your life.
And it's super hard.
So why do you think let's cut it back to why do you think hobbies are important to have?
I think hobbies are important. I think I started to realize this, like, I think I mentioned this earlier, but I started to realize this, like, during COVID, when people were basically on lockdown, where everyone's at home and shit like that, but, like, everyone's like, all right, well, what do I do with my time now? You know what I mean? So for me, it was like, all right, bro, I have to find something that, like, I genuinely enjoy doing that takes the time of, rather than just me sitting around and doing either nothing or eating because I'm bored and, you know, gaining weight for no fucking reason, or, you know what I mean? Like, people find, like, other things to fill in habits with, but 9 times out of 10 they're bad habits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me, it's like, I don't know, find something that you genuinely enjoy that keeps your thought process active, keeps your brain active, keeps your body active.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be, like, genuinely, like, anything. Like, I know shit costs money now. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no shit.
99.9% of things, like, you have to pay for something. You know what I mean? And I understand that, but I don't know. There are some things that, like, you pay up front at first to learn something. Like with me with trade, like, I want, you know, like with us, whether it be with bartending or even like me wanting to weld and fabricate.
Trade isn't like craft skills.
Yeah, and so like fabricating and for me it was, you know, window tinting and, you know, vinyl wraps and shit like that. That's the next goal that I'm trying to get into. But you know, for me it was streaming. For me it was, you know, starting to work out and, like, find myself in the gym and I don't know, hanging out with friends and just, like, little things, like knowing how to put time and effort into something that genuinely matters and makes you happy. Like that, it doesn't have to be like a hobby as in, like, you have to go do something extravagant. Like, bro, if, like, going up on a hill and fucking reading a book makes you happy, bro, then go do that shit. You know what I mean?
Hobbies can be something small that it is non-consequential or non-impactful to, like, the greater of your life, you know?
Yeah, it's just whatever you enjoy in that moment, whatever brings you peace, happiness. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. I definitely think that that's spot on. Of, like, hobbies are just something that you find fun in an activity that doesn't necessarily require, like, all of your brain power, or, like, or even if it does, it's just something that makes you happy to do and makes you feel good. That doesn't like drain you necessarily, or it can drain you. Like, there's like working out, going to the gym is technically a hobby. It is something that people do for fun and can drain you, but it's more of like a
people enjoy it.
Yeah, it has to be something that doesn't drain you in the sense that, like, after you do it, you feel like you can't speak to anybody.
Yeah,
like,
and honestly, even when it comes to draining, some people feel better when they come out of the gym. Like, some people, like, come out of the gym, like, with more energy. You
that's
know
the pre-workout.
That is the pre-workout, but we won't talk about it. You know what I mean? Some people still are cracked out naturally when they come out of the gym, because working out, you know, it does give you more energy and you feel more just, I don't know, alive, I guess. How do you start to, like, find hobbies to stick to? Which I think is something that a lot of people struggle with, is, like, they can find things that they like, but how do I stick to it or, like, develop that skill of? Isn't there like a scientific, how long does it take to build a habit? Like 21 days?
21 days is how long it takes to build or break a habit.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think if you try something out for 3 weeks and, you know, see if you genuinely enjoy doing it, or if it genuinely brings you, you know, that happiness that you talk about, and you can find it in your schedule. Like,
when it also comes to it, is the first week is the hardest.
Yeah, because some people genuinely start something, like I do it all the time, where I'll start something and then, like, if I don't see something, like, change or, like, something impact real quick, I'm like, yeah, fuck this.
Yeah, which is what a lot of people struggle with, like, working out, actually, is, like,
110%, bro, because there's days where you literally are just like, I don't want to do shit.
Yeah, I think that's what my biggest problem is with working out, but that gets into, like, a whole different topic of, like, but it's a hobby I've tried to pick up, and, like, also just, like, a good lifestyle thing to have, of, like, working out and being physically active in, like, a healthy way.
Bro, if you were swole,
I don't even necessarily want to be swole. I just want to be, like,
nah, but if you were, like, girthy, you know what I mean? Like, if you had a little extra, if you had a little extra girth on you, I think you would be literally a fucking unit, bro.
See, but that's the thing, is, like, yeah, but also, like, just being happy with my body is kind of where I want to be right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm not really right now.
You need to be on your Robert Pattinson shit. Like, you need, like, prime
Batman shit?
Yeah, prime vengeance.
That is my boy.
I'm vengeance. You know, I need you on that shit. Where is she? No, I real life need you on that shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think for not only you, but for everybody else around it to be like, damn, bro, like Jaxon really on his shit, bro.
It's just so hard. And I hate doing it alone, but also like having people around is difficult.
It is hard to work out with people, especially if you guys like work out differently.
And I think it also depends on like the way that I'm feeling that day, because sometimes I just want to like earbuds in, music on, or podcast on, and I just don't want to like deal with it.
Yeah.
And that's harder to do whenever you're like with somebody, if they're like, oh, I want to like, you know, chill and vibe with you.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have a hard time with it. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, and I think I just need somebody that I can work out with without being like,
I got you.
Yeah, but I got to drive all the way out here is the problem.
You're right. You are right. Indeed.
Brendan lives like 20 minutes away.
All good things.
Legally 20 minutes away.
Legally. Yeah. I mean, when
illegally like 15 to 10.
When I'm driving, probably you're pushing like 10, 12 minutes, you know? Regardless. Honestly, just start with push-ups, bro. Like whenever, like, if you literally just wake up, crank out like...
Yeah, dailies is important.
You know what I mean? Just even if you're not working out like heavy, if you're doing like
push-ups, sit-ups,
anywhere from 50 to 100 push-ups, sit-ups a day, you'll start to see like a little bit of tone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is what I need to get back to doing, because I was really good about doing that for a while.
Yeah, so you have that pull-up bar in your fucking room. Yeah, get the fucking working.
Honestly, the reason why I don't use it that much is because of the fact I used to do it to where I would have the pull-up bar on my door. And anytime that I left or like entered or exited the room, I would do like 1 to 5 pull-ups.
Hell yeah.
And whenever I knew it was going to be a day that I would leave a lot, I would just do 1. So I'd be like walking in and out. I'd just do the 1, drop, go. But if it was like, I'm not going to leave that much, I'd do 5. But my door doesn't work because I have the master. I'll break the door. So yeah.
Why don't you just open up both and then put it in the middle?
Because it doesn't have anything to rest on.
Swear.
Yeah, because the way that it works is those sidebars.
Oh, I thought you
go
were
on the hinges.
I thought you were just gonna put it on the top, but I'm a dumbass. You right.
Anyway, that was a lot of workout talk right now. But anyway.
Yeah, we kind of just drifted off.
Hey, that happens though.
Habits.
How do you stick to a habit you make?
Willpower.
Drive.
Yeah, it depends on how bad you want to do it. You know what I mean? Like. And there's even times where, like we said, you don't want to do shit. You know what I mean? But it depends on, like, discipline, willpower, and consistency.
But the counter argument is, like, if you are having to force yourself to do it, is it a hobby you enjoy?
Well, if you enjoy it, you won't be forcing yourself to do it.
Yeah, but, like, that's part of sticking to a hobby is, like...
To start it, you have to force yourself to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you enjoy it, like... Because I enjoy working out or I enjoy streaming, but there's times where me and you are both like, damn, bro, I really don't want to stream.
And I think that that's a nature of, like, humans don't like to see non-progress. Yeah. Or, like, the starting of things always sucks.
Yeah.
And is, like, demoralizing. It doesn't, like, get you excited because of the fact that it's such little progress, or it doesn't feel like a lot's happening, really.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes it really hard. And that's where I think a lot of people struggle with hobbies and trying to learn how to stick to it, is understanding that the start is always slow.
Yeah.
Almost every single hobby, unless it's like something that's super innate, like reading or something like that.
Or you already have like
innate skill in it.
Or the blueprint for it, and you can literally just make something out of nothing.
Yeah.
For it. You know what I mean?
Like even people who are like, oh, I want to play games as my hobby. Like, video games are my hobby, which is like very much me. There's times where I don't want to do it because of the fact that I'm like, oh, dude, I love playing competitively. I have my whole life I've played games competitively, and I'm just not feeling it today, and I'm getting fucked, and so I have no motivation to play.
There are days where there are bad games, and it's just like, fuck.
Yeah.
No bueno.
So I think that sticking to it just does actually boil down to like you said, just drive and your willpower to be like, I know that this will be beneficial to me in the end.
Yeah, and like that also has to be that conversation that you have with yourself. You know what I mean? Like if you genuinely like do enjoy it, or you can go like, you know, I can see myself doing this, I can see myself enjoying this, then stick to it. You know what I mean? Just see how far it goes. And then, you know, after your 21 days, after your, you know, time has passed where you can give it, you know, maybe a month or two, and you're like, all right, you know what, this isn't going to work.
Yeah. It's also not a bad thing to drop hobbies. I think really quick, I want a sidebar of what are you like with hobbies? Like, what type of person are you when it comes to developing hobbies and sticking to them? Like, are you a person to pick up a lot of hobbies, or like have like a couple that you stick to, and those have been your things for a long time, and you kind of like?
I think I definitely like. I have a certain set of hobbies that I try and stick to, and then I'll like if I find myself getting like plateaued with it, or like I kind of get bored of it, or because like
Burnout.
Yeah, or burn out, or because people change on a daily.
Mm-hmm.
If literally from the time you go to sleep, from the time you wake up, you literally wake up a different person every single day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And especially as young as we are, like we are developing and growing and becoming people every single day. You know what I mean? So there's times where, one day you might wake up and just be like, yo, I'm not really fucking with this. You know what I mean? And that's okay. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people are just like, oh, you might just do this or you might just do that. You're just going to drop that. Like, yeah, bro, because I don't think it's worth my time anymore.
Yeah. I definitely think that makes sense. I think that's a pretty good description for me.
And I don't think that like the type of person, if you're continuously trying to grow and like build those habits, it's noticeable. You know what I mean? Like you can definitely notice it, and you can definitely tell like, hey, this person like is trying to better themselves. You know what I mean? And you can tell when someone is just like, fuck everything.
Yeah. And I think that for me, I'm the type of person who is very hobby oriented. I do a lot of stuff. I like to pick up a lot of like trades. I like to pick up a lot of like skills, and I kind of just like to do things. I've picked up guitar. I picked up drawing. I've picked up woodwork. I've picked up digital asset creation, programming. Like I've picked up thousands of skills and then immediately put them down, or like stick to them for like 2 months and then drop them.
Yeah.
I think that I'm just a very hobby-oriented person, which is why I think that I actually like this topic for us to talk about, because of the fact that like it is so interesting to me of like everybody wants to be doing stuff, but some people really don't know how to get into doing stuff.
Yeah, like they don't know what it takes to genuinely build up, and what you said, like what it takes to get started. And a lot of people don't realize like before you even start something, you probably got to do research on it. You're probably gonna have to look into it. You know what I mean? Like look into what it consists of, like what it calls for. You know what I mean? It's kind of like cooking. Yeah,
9 times out of 10, the hobbies that I pick up, I have done like a day and a half's worth of research or just watching YouTube videos on, and then go, yeah, this seems interesting. I'll do this.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And deciding whether or not it's actually worth your time, rather than just hearing, off the first time of hearing something and you go, all right, bet I'm gonna try it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there are instances where that works, but also at the same time, like,
for audio listeners, my camera only records for about 11 minutes, and same for you video listeners, but you'll see it.
You'll see the little
cut.
Yeah.
And so that's why we'll have a little bit of lapses at times or repeats.
But it should only be for that first episode and this episode, so
hopefully.
How
do you find hobbies you enjoy doing?
By just trying shit. You cannot be afraid to try shit, bro. Because at the end of the day, like, there's so many people that are like, yo, I wish I did this. I wish I did this. They regret stuff that they didn't do in life. They regret things that, they didn't just full send. Like, I don't know, bro. If you want to go try some fucking, I don't even know. Yeah, bro. If you want to try some fucking, bro, figure it out. Just sign up somewhere. I don't know. Fucking do something about it. Jesus, download a dating app. I don't know. But, like, if you want to go try something, bro, like, fucking go try it. Like, by all means. But like we said, like, do the research on it. If you genuinely think that it's going to be worth your time and that you can see yourself doing something, like, just send it, bro.
Like some fucking,
bro. Like, just send it. You know what
dude.
I mean?
I know you're on Grindr now. How's it feel?
Yeah, hella. I just got my ass out all over on Grindr, bro.
Woo-wee.
Yeah, bro. Bald eagle. You know what I mean? Spread eagle. I'm sorry.
Has Jeff and Cameron told you about the photos they have on their dating apps?
No.
Jeff has a photo. They sent it to me. I can't remember why, but I had made a joke about them having booty shorts. They took some old jeans of theirs and cut them up so that they were booty shorts. And they're not good cuts. They have straight cheeks showing.
Yeah,
basically.
I'm really glad that I don't.
That's on Jeff's dating app profile. Is that photo of him?
That's crazy.
Him with the booty shorts on. It gets him a lot of comments though.
Yeah, I'm sure hella people are like, yo, what the fuck?
No, it gets good comments because people will be like, "That's funny," or "Your butt looks pretty good."
That's crazy.
It is crazy. It's kind of funny.
That's wild. Fucking hefe.
Yeah, good times.
Jeez.
Anyway,
that's actually crazy.
What is burnout, Brendan?
To me, I don't know. Burning out is when you genuinely like don't enjoy something. You know what I mean? Burnout is when you kind of like are like, oh, I have to do this. Like we said, like in the beginning, it's different. But like if you've been doing this for a while and you're kind of just getting up and you're like going through the motions. Wow, I could kiss you right now.
We're the same, you and I.
Clip it. What's it called? Fuck, you lost my train of thought.
Going through
the motions. Yeah. If you're just going through the motions and you're kind of just like, nah, I'm gonna do this because I've been doing it for a while. I think it's time to find something else. You know what I mean? Find something that brings you that like excitement to life, or like brings you that little like extra oomph in life. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head. Is burnout is just when you aren't enjoying something that much, or you feel kind of like you are forcing yourself to participate in it. I think that's definitely when the apt description of like what burnout is. How do you avoid burnout with your hobbies?
I don't know. Time management, I guess. Time management, understanding that like, I don't know, like I know like if I could, I would stream all the time. But I also know if I stream all the time, at some point I'm probably going to get tired of it because it is draining. You know what I mean? Like you do put a lot of effort into it. You do put a lot of time into it. So I feel like you kind of have to know how much to do of something. You know what I mean? It's kind of like with the illegal substances. You know what I mean? No, I'm just playing. Allegedly. You just got to know how much to do. You know what I mean? Don't overdo it, but have fun with it. You know what I mean? And kind of gauge it, because at first you might be doing it a lot and you're like, damn, I could be doing this all the time. Like when I first started streaming, I was popping off 8-hour streams, bro. And then after a while, they were like, we're gonna kick your ass. And I was like, all right, bro, we might bump it down to like 4 to 6 hours. You know what I mean? So we try to aim for like 4 hours at least.
For burnout, for me, I actually am someone who suffers so much from burnout. I will do something until I literally cannot do it. My body says not to. That's what happened with woodwork. Like making that table, I was like, I'm going to be here every day and then go into work after I finish working on this table for 4+ hours. And then I'm going to
you were a monster with that table, bro.
And that's why I haven't been in the shop. Like I haven't been in the shop. I'm supposed to be building a desk for my roommate and I just haven't been able to because I'm just exhausted. And I think it kicked my ass, and
it's getting a little hotter.
Yeah, which makes it even harder. But like I'm someone who just like will do something until I literally am so exhausted of it. It's a really bad habit. But I think that for me, my example of like being able to prevent burnout is understanding like when you're starting to get burned out and just take a break. It's okay to stop doing something for a little bit, or like take that minute to just kind of reset for a little bit and chill out, relax, come back to it in like a week. And that usually will help you reset and be excited and reinvigorated to do a thing.
Yeah, take your time with shit, especially when it comes to stuff like that, because you have to be creative.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And don't overstimulate yourself with that hobby either. It's okay to not always be consuming things for a hobby that you're doing, which is something that I do a lot, which is like I will consume a shit ton of X media for that product or whatever, and then will get burned out because every waking moment is now me consumed in that thing.
No, I feel you. And I feel like that's like, you see it with any hobby, profession, like whatever it is. Like I know, like for me, like the first thing I thought of is like artists. You know what I mean? Like they know they have to be, like we know artists, digital artists that like they know they have to get shit done. They know they have to keep working on their like craft and shit like that, like to be better about it. But also at the same time, like if you're just locked in with a fucking on the computer like 8 hours of the day, like you're gonna burn yourself out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think that kind of also like drifts into when does a hobby become a job, and stuff like that. But for burnout, just like know that it's okay to take a break. You don't have to do a thing all the time. If you know it's something that you'll keep enjoying and you want to keep enjoying, understand that like just because you burn out of something doesn't mean that it's not something you actually like or it's not something that you care about. It just means that like you are human and you experience the natural response, which is like getting tired of doing the same thing repetitively.
Yeah, and honestly, like even when it comes to jobs, like people say like when they enjoy their job, it's not a job. You know what I mean? Like you're getting paid to go do something you enjoy. Like some people don't realize like the small.
That's rare.
Yeah, bro, and I've seen people who like started out as a hobby, like whether it be designing clothes or like knitting shit or like sewing shit together, and like whether it be patches or anything like that. They end up, people end up if they post it up on Instagram, people are like, yo, do you sell these?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they turn around and end up making it a whole business. They're not upset about it because they enjoy doing that shit. So now they have made money off of shit that they enjoy.
I will say sometimes that does enter it into being a job, which can burn you out, because that's what happened to my dad. Because my dad does woodwork.
Yeah.
And it started off as a little hobby, little thing that he just did like, a side hustle, but like he couldn't really work because of the situation he's in.
Yeah.
And then that led to an issue of like, he did it as like a little fun thing, and then it became like I can make money off of this, and then it became this is now my job, and he doesn't like it as much.
Yeah.
And I think that part of why he doesn't like it as much, and I've talked to him about it, is the fact that like it's no longer just for fun. He's not just making what he wants to make. He's making it's the artist dilemma, which is I'm no longer making what I want to make. I'm making what people want me to make.
Yeah, like it's almost like I have to make this.
Mm-hmm.
Like people, like I'm being waited on to make this type shit.
Yeah,
I have to hit a deadline.
I think is also what my problem is with building my roommate's table or my roommate's desk. Is the table was for me. The table was like I can make whatever I want. The desk is not my design. It is, hey, here's a blueprint for you. Here's kind of what I'm thinking. Is this what you want? What are you thinking? And then I'm making that, which I still enjoy. Still doing the woodwork and all that stuff, but it's not as expressive. It's not as freeing.
Yeah.
But,
shit happens.
Yeah, I think that's just something that you have to understand is like when you're transferring a hobby to a job, and when you're experiencing burnout, that like,
and even if
step back,
and I didn't like if it's not even a job for you, but like you understand like you're doing it for a friend. Like there's times where like if you have a hobby that you end up doing something for somebody else, like whether it be creative or like arts and craft like esque, you know what I mean? Like there's times it's okay to like tell like your homies like, nah, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like it requires a lot of fucking effort. Yeah, like I need a second. It requires a lot of effort and a lot of time. And if I'm not getting paid for it, then like I want to be able to take my time with it and not feel like I'm being rushed. You know what I mean? Like whether it be, photography or, videography, woodwork, fucking, like no matter what it is, like a lot of people, might ask for something, and there's times where like it's okay to say no. Like some people feel like you can't say no because it's a homie. Like, nah, bro, fuck that.
No, I charge my homies for whenever I'm doing stuff.
Yeah, have to.
My roommate's paying me for this desk. Well, actually, he's not anymore, but that gets into a whole thing. That gets into a whole thing of like
knowing y'all, it's probably going back somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you accept burnout?
I think you just know.
Well, not even in the sense of like, how do you like deal with it, but like how do you accept that like burnout's coming, I feel burnout, and now I'm done with this hobby, like, and you kind of get upset about it, because there's always that moment for me when it's something that I really enjoy, like, and this happened with woodwork most recently, which is like you almost feel bad about yourself, and like you're letting yourself down because you're giving up on this thing, or you're like, I can't do this, or I don't want to do this anymore.
I don't know, I think it's just understanding that like I said, like there's times where you wake up and you're like, bro, I'm not fucking with this right now. You know what I mean? Or like, I think it's okay to kind of take a break from a hobby and see if you miss it as much as you enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Because there's times where like, if you drop something and you're like, and you don't really miss it, or you don't like, crave it,
Yeah.
then I think you had your time and like it had its effect in your life, and it was that time like period where like you did your thing, but now it's time to move on and just find something else. And
you
like
can always also come back to it. It'll never fully disappear.
Yeah, you always have that muscle memory of something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like, like you said, you can always come back to it, and you don't have to find a hobby right away. You know what I mean? Take the time to just chill. You're like, all right, I got, a little bit of extra free time because I stopped doing this. I'm going to chill for a little bit. But also, in the back of your mind, you can kind of keep it like, all right, bro, what am I going to do next?
And that's something that I think is so pivotal and something that I really struggle with. Because like I said, I'm someone who's always picking up hobbies or like doing jobs or something like that.
Yeah, you stay busy.
And like literally, I just had somebody come back into my life and they were like, okay, well, you tell me when you can hang out because you're always busy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, and I've had a lot of people tell me this, but like that person I had a relationship with. And so it was like that kind of moment of like, ah, shit.
Yeah, but
like this person knows me.
Yeah, but you can never feel bad about that.
No, and I don't feel bad about it, but I've learned to accept it and know how to deal with it now because I looked them in the eye and I said, I'm not going to lie to you. Reach out to me. I was like, the best way, if you actually want to be around me, and this is so shitty because I know that like it makes it seem like I don't care. And I've literally had people stop being friends with me because of this, because they're like, I just don't think you care about having me in your life. And at the end of the day, it's like, it's not that. I want you in my life and I'll miss you. But also, I'm an adult and I do so much stuff to either get to a point where I'm not having to work for somebody and I can work for myself, or to have something to do because it makes me happy and it's a hobby or it's a thing and I want to see the end result.
Yeah, because like
project.
Nobody wants to just sit in their house and just wait for somebody else to like hit them and be like, hey, bro, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like,
and
stay busy. Keep yourself busy. You know
and like,
I mean?
I think that's what a lot of people misunderstand is that it's not that I don't care and that I don't want to see you, but if you, I struggle to make plans. I'm a very spontaneous person. If I'm like, oh, this day's opened up for me.
Which is why we work out, which is why me and you work, because I don't plan worth the shit.
Yeah, there's a couple things that I'll plan out and that like we have a recording day for this that we've kind of been a little wishy-washy on.
A little flexible.
Yeah, which we'll have to kind of regulate because we want a release
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, we have like a game night that we have set, and that's been consistent, and I always make sure that that's there. Unless like, we have to skip that week or whatever. But like there's an understanding of like, and I think that there's a lot of people who are like this who don't ever want to admit it. It is okay to not be the person to reach out. If you, whenever that person does reach out to you though, you give them the same energy and you show them that you love and care about them. It is okay to not reach out. And you just have to make sure that that person knows the type of person you are.
Yeah, because I feel like I was that type of person. Like, I think we talked about it in the last episode. Like, you knew me. You know what I mean? When we first met, like, I was always the type of person like, I was trying to make you feel loved whether or not you wanted it or not. Like, I was reaching out to you, making sure that, like, I was giving you love whether you needed it, whether I thought you needed it or not. Like, I was just doing it just to fucking do it.
And I think that there's a society misconception about it, like, if this person doesn't put out the same level of care or effort into your relationship or your whatever, which is true, then like they're the bad guy. They're the problem. Like you need to drop them. But I think that gets misconstrued and people take it as like, oh, this person never texts me. Yeah. This person never texts me first, which can be a problem. But also like if the times that they do it, you are being like, nah, I can't do this. Like, I can't hang out right now or whatever, whatever it may be, then I think that it kind of begins to morph into a different issue of like this person goes, the person who, me in this case scenario, is like, well, this person never can hang out whenever I ask them. So I'm just going to wait for them to put in the effort, tell me that they can, because I'm too busy to just wait for their schedule. Yeah. And I think society has a really bad misconception of like what that necessarily means of like how much effort they're putting in. Because whenever we do hang out, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll pay for dinner, or I'll come pick you up. I'll do whatever it is, right? And like we'll put in that effort, or like we'll have a really good time, or whatever it is, right? Then I think that makes up for it because some people just operate differently.
And I don't think people also understand the fact that like if someone takes the time out of their schedule, out of their day to hang out with you or fuck with you, you're probably fucking important to them.
Yeah, because I could just say no. I
And-
could just be like, no, I'm gonna go do one of my other shit, like
And-
other 6 hobbies.
And 9 out of 10 times, especially now in today's like world, I feel like so many people have other shit they can do. Or there's a lot of people who are genuinely okay with like, they'll tell somebody like, I know multiple people who go, yeah, I actually have plans. You know what their fucking plans are? Going home and just chilling.
Yeah, going home, I'm gonna eat,
And I'm gonna just fucking
watch
vibe.
whatever show I'm watching.
Have I done that before? Absolutely.
And I think there's a level of like, I have plans and it's to take care of myself. And then there's the I have plans and it's just,
I don't want to hang out with you.
yeah. Which I think is, whatever. But anyway,
that's a different situation.
rounding back, I think that accepting burnout boils down to the fact that you have to know that like at the end of the day, you're not giving up on something. You're just kind of like moving forward.
Yeah, bro. You're growing. You're
Yeah.
becoming a different human being. You're finding yourself.
And it's not the end of the world. You can always come back to it. And 9 times out of 10, you will probably end up still liking that thing. It's just that like you need something else to do. You get bored. Humans get bored.
Yeah, bro. Hella people like, you see it all the time where they're like, damn, bro, I didn't realize how much I missed this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And they refine that like fire or love for it. You know what I mean?
It's just doing too much of a good thing poisons the well.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And there's no shame in that. And
Biggest brightness.
which is what a lot of people struggle with, is the fact that it feels shameful to give up on something or a hobby
Yeah.
or something that you've put money into too.
Mm-hmm.
I literally had my when I picked up photography, my mom was getting me a camera for Christmas, because I was like, yeah, that's what I want, because it was around that time, and she was like, okay, but I'm gonna get you like not a super new camera, just so you know, because I know you.
Yeah.
And she's like, I know you'll probably burn yourself out on this, and I was like, that makes sense. You know what? Of course, I was kind of like bummed at the time, but I was like, looking back, retrospect is always great. Hindsight's 20/20, and I was like, that is so smart. My mom knows me
Yeah, it's always
and
good.
knew
Yeah.
that that was not the move.
Mom's usually 9 out of 10 times are right.
But yeah, so it's okay to have burnout. Also, this chair is gonna drive me nuts.
Why?
It's just making the noise.
Little dang, the little
Yeah.
crick.
So hopefully that's not in the audio, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, how do you know, on the terms of accepting, how do you know when to give up on a hobby? Like, be it just starting or ending your relationship with it?
I don't know. I feel like I said it earlier. Like you just kind of know. Like I feel like you're like you feel it in your soul. You know what I mean? Like it might not just have that same oomph.
For me, I think that it depends on what the hobby is. I think that with certain things, you should attribute goals to your hobbies, and sometimes your hobbies...
Write down goals.
Yeah.
You got to write down goals.
I think sometimes when it attributes to hobbies, your goals you can have goals with that, and you can be like, I want to be at this point within this reasonable amount of time of picking up this hobby. So say, for example, I want to know how to play a song by the end of this month, and it's my second month picking up guitar. I think that's reasonable. As somebody who's played a little bit of guitar,
I want to learn, bro. I'm about to learn. I'm about to have my the homegirl we were talking about earlier, her little brother, is about to teach me how to play piano.
that's sick. Piano's awesome.
Piano's sexy. If you walk into a fat crib and there's a grand piano and everyone kind of looks around and goes, damn, I wish I could play that. And you go, hold my burr. And you sit down and you go,
Dude, you play Beethoven's Symphony?
bro, and you just rip that shit. Everyone in that bitch is like,
Yeah.
you know what I
I
mean?
think that's just you.
Nah, I mean, kind of. If I see someone sit down at a piano and they rip that shit, I'm like, you're sexy.
I think that you, every time that you've said sit down at a piano, I just imagine like somebody with a tailcoat.
Yeah. And they flap
Flap
it,
it out,
and then they do the
sit
whole
down,
like, they
their
do the
dumper.
They do the whole like crack the hands
Yeah.
and then rip
And they
it.
go, dun, do, 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 do.
No, literally, and they start playing Dr. Dre next episode.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? So no,
They do a mashup. It's as soon as it goes, do, 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 dun, dun, dun.
exact beautiful. I literally want to be that person. Like I want to be that
Piano
person.
mashups.
Yes.
New hobby that Brendan's picking up.
Yeah. Speaking of, yeah, I'm gonna try and learn piano.
Knowing when to give up for a hobby, it boils down to me for like, if you can't meet that goal and you don't feel like you are reasonably going to be able to achieve it, or you're not happy with the progress you're making, then it's okay to give up. Oh, that or if like you look at it and you're like, the amount of money that I'm going to put into this is not going to be worth it for the amount of time, or
and don't even look at it as like giving up. It's more of just like dropping it. It's like dropping people. You know what I mean? Like 9 times out of 10, you're
that
like,
is a bad.
nah, bro.
That has bad connotation.
Nah, bro. Because like 9 times out of 10, when I decide to drop somebody out of my life, I'm like, I'm gonna feel bad at first, but to be honest with you, it's what needs to be done.
That gets into a whole nother topic.
It's pretty simple.
It gets into a whole nother topic. That's a whole episode worth of talking about, like knowing when and when
it's gonna happen. Watch a couple episodes. Watch.
Leave a comment down below if you want to see that.
Yeah, bro, it's gonna happen. Trust.
Like managing relationships, I guess that would be.
Yeah, we did have someone who slid up on that story and said that relationship advice, friendship advice.
Bet.
So
we can do that.
All right, bro.
I will add that to the thing after. Anyway, y'all. But yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents on knowing when to give up on a hobby and knowing that it's okay to kind of just put something down and walk away.
Be your biggest critic, but also be your biggest
fan.
Yeah, and
supporter.
Like don't like forgive yourself, or do forgive yourself.
Don't forgive yourself. You fucking suck.
Yeah, bro. You're actually dog shit. But yeah, bro. What was I saying?
Dog shit.
Dog shit. Absolute dog shit. I don't know what I was saying about dog shit, to be honest with you. But yeah, bro. It's all good things, bro. Don't feel bad about fucking picking up and dropping hobbies left and right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a necessary part of life.
It's all about finding yourself, understanding who you are as a person. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But we are gonna come up for some
Yeah, let's come up for air. Real quick before we get into the deep topic, I want to talk about our background really quick. We got some sound paneling, right? Obviously it's not fully finished. But
here's where I get shit on.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about this.
Here's where I get fucking shit on.
So these sound panels are held up by command strips. I come in, Brendan calls me, right? I woke up and I texted him. I was like, "Hey, are we still on for today?"
Fuck you.
Calls me. We talked for a bit. He's like, "I'm gonna put up the sound paneling while I'm waiting for you." I said, "Okay." And these sound panels, when I get here, the command strips are little so they're little strips that are basically sticky on 2 sides.
They're one and dones.
And you take the tabs off of both sides, and then it sticks. It's like a Band-Aid, basically.
They're one and dones.
But on both sides. And those little tabs all over the floor when I walk in.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I was like, what the fuck?
It looked like a tornado of tabs.
Yeah. And then
sounds like a good time, not gonna lie.
Command strip. So the sound panel wallings were like on there, and there's some over here on the right side or left side, I guess.
Because I thought we had enough to fill the wall, but I figured out after putting the first 9 up, I was like, no shot.
Yeah, and those first 9 look really good because they start in the corner. Then he switched over to the middle so that it could cover our podcast area. They did not look good. They were crooked.
Yeah, that bitch had a quick slant to it, but we don't have to talk about it.
Wall show and everything.
That's fine, bro. I'm not a very precise person, bro. Eat my dick.
He also covered the outlet that we use to plug in our soundboard.
With some electrical tape.
With the panel too.
With also the panel too. My mom was terrified that we were gonna start a fire. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I was like, nah, bro, trust in the electrical tape.
I cut out the panel anyway. Funny bit. Anyway, Brendan.
Hey, fuck you.
Let's talk about what you want to talk about. Convo with homegirl.
Oh yeah, that's right, bro. Random acts of kindness, bro. To be honest with you, I was talking about one of my best friend's fiancés, and she was telling me about how she has been noticing people genuinely she calls it an enlightenment or an awakening. I feel with people's spirituality,
and sexuality. Oh
wow. All right. I mean that too.
All right, man.
All right. No, but for real, I think a lot of people are starting to realize how powerful we are with our minds, how genuinely powerful we can be. You know what I mean? When people speak shit into existence, when people are like, I'm gonna do this, and then you see them go and do it, or hey,
hey,
I want
you. I don't like your girlfriend.
I'm gonna knock you out. That's crazy. When people are very energy based. They attract a lot of good things to them. You know what I mean? When they put out good energy, that's all they get back. And she was just talking about being like living out like
Talking about vibes.
yeah. Hey, bro, if you put out good vibes, bro, that's all you're gonna get back. And she was just talking about like being at a certain point, like consciously, like knowing and understanding that like I'm gonna get into some spooky shit here. Not spooky, but like
Metaphysical.
yeah, like third eye type shit. You know what I mean?
Called
Like
metaphysical.
yeah. So like she genuinely, like we were talking about like being subconsciously aware of like a higher self, like you being a higher self. Because at some point, if you look at it, you know how when people are always like, yo, we're connected, yada yada, this and that, it's because we are. The whole universe, yada yada, is because whatever you're putting into the universe, we are all connected at some point. You know what I mean? So when you put bad energy out, you're literally affecting yourself and others, but it's just gonna come back to you because you're putting it out there. So when the universe hears, yo, all right, you are just putting out negative energy, being a little bitch, and you're like, yo, I don't want this in my life, yada yada, this and that. All they hear is that. So the universe is like, I'm just gonna keep giving you that shit back. But if you're just out here putting out good energy, like, all right, bro, all I want is this, all I want is this, it hears you, bro. Trust me.
You can never make crystal jokes again.
I actually have some, so
That's
they're sitting behind my monitor over there. I've had them for a while, bro. I've told you, I've shown you them.
Crazy.
This
man literally made crystal jokes 2 days ago.
I do like
at D&D.
Hey, crystal jokes go crazy, but also they kind of work. They're a little spooky to a little extent. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. When you genuinely start looking for stuff, like I promise you, the universe is so much more powerful than you realize, bro.
This is a whole conversation that we're actually gonna have an episode about. Just so you know, that's when Shay's coming on.
I'm here for it. That's
Shay's
gonna be
talk
lit.
about that stuff and astrology.
Tapping into the universe.
And she wants to talk about astrology.
Yes,
those two.
I'm here for it, dog.
Wow,
bro, we're more powerful than we think we are. Trust.
Wow.
You don't realize, like we notice it at work. You know how little things can change someone's entire day? You literally serve somebody a fucking cup of coffee and you made their whole fucking day by saying, hey, I hope you know I made your coffee with a little bit of extra love, little boogie woogie, and you literally changed their entire... That's different. You're putting out good vibes.
You know how that's different?
Hold my dick. How's that different?
That's an interaction that you're having with another human being that is telling them and giving them a service that makes them feel away.
Yeah, but you could just be like, no, listen. You could just be like, yo, here's your fucking coffee.
You also know why that works so well? 9 times out of 10, the person's interaction, if they have paid outside, will be better than if they paid inside.
Why?
Because they do not think about the fact that it's a transaction anymore. That's why we do running.
Or
this is so serious. The interaction of I've already paid, so the service is no longer an interaction of I'm giving you something so you give it back. It is in their mind, the brain, like that signal shuts off basically, and it is just I'm receiving something from you. Because the transaction part's already gone and not in their mindset.
Yeah, I feel you.
So anytime that we have an interaction with somebody who's already paid, 9 times out of 10 it'll be a better interaction.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Anyway.
That's actually kind of wild.
But
regardless, though, you're still impacting people's lives.
That's different than just being like, I'm putting positive energy into the world. That's because the way you're describing it is saying, like, I'm going to sit here in my room, monk status, crisscross applesauce, fingers up, oming, and I'm going to put out
That's called
good
meditating,
energy.
and it'll work.
I know meditating works, but meditating is different because I'm not putting good vibes out. Meditating is when you are clearing your mind and giving yourself a better centering. That is internal. You're saying putting that external means that the universe will just be like, oh, this man's doing good. Today he gets a free coffee from the universe itself.
No. Here's how I look at it, right? I'm not looking at it as like someone gets a free coffee like that.
Crazy.
For me, it's just more of like a... Right, so, okay, we could take it from the meditating spot, right? So if you're trying to center yourself and you're trying to, meditate, find yourself, like, center it, I feel you, right? Understand it. You now have that, right? You are now centered, right? Now what the fuck are you going to go do with that? Are you just going to keep it to yourself? No, because what does that do? Nothing. You know what you're going to go do? You're going to go outside and you're going to impact people. You're going to impact people in a positive way. You're going to put out good energy, and that shit's going to come back, okay? Whether it be at work or just out in general, at work, You know you work with people who genuinely hate their lives on a daily basis, come in with these shittiest attitudes, right? And still work there. So it's all about how you perceive it, how you come in with those energies and that vibe. Correct or incorrect? Hold my dick.
You're correct because of the fact... hold on. You're correct in certain regards. Because you're correct about the fact that when they come in with a bad attitude, that impacts the people around you in the sense that it makes them not... Okay? It makes them not as, like, excited, or it drags down the environment, right? Which is vibes.
Vibes?
But
What?
You're saying that the universe hits you back for that.
Yeah.
That's where you lose me.
Bro, because you got to understand, like, when people have bad days, like, I understand having a bad day, right? But just because you're having a bad day does not mean that you can go affect other people's fucking days negatively. You know what I mean? Like, just because you're having a bad day does not mean that everybody else around you has to have a bad fucking day too. You know what I mean? So if you're going to go out of your way and just put out negative ass energy, the universe is going to be like,
at what point is it you putting out bad energy to people around you and you just, like, not really feeling it? And so
when you communicate that, if you look at somebody and you go, if someone comes up to you and you go, hey, I don't really want to be on socials today because I don't think that I'm going to be able to give somebody my best efforts because this happened, and they give you examples for it, by all means, you know what I mean? But there's also times where people are like, bro, I'm just not feeling it. And then there's times where you're like, you just want to run outside rather than, you know, going on socials or something like that. And they're like, yeah, I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? Because it's not that draining. But communicating that and letting people know rather than just being like, I'm going to walk in a day on some fucking smoke and I'm going to ruin people's day to day. People do that subconsciously and not know it. Because they're not grown enough to fucking communicate their feelings. Huh?
I think you've lost your own point.
How?
Because I think that now you're arguing for the way that it impacts the people directly around you instead of the way that it impacts yourself and the universe around you. Because
it's a big circle, though.
I think we should move on.
All right.
Because
whatever.
Because I think that this is going to be, I think that the episode with Shay where we talk about this is just going to be all three of us fighting.
All right, bet. I'm with that. I'm so ready for it. And I know.
I think it'll be you and Shay fighting me.
110%. Me and Shay are going to become even more besties on that episode. I'm ready for it.
Wow. Let's talk about...
let's talk about your topic.
I want to talk about the smart house concept with my friend. Okay, so a while back, way before I moved out, I was talking to one of my friends who I was supposed to move in with. We kind of made a plan of like, maybe we should move in together. In retrospect, probably would have been an awful idea. But also, I don't know. It could go either way. Anyway, so we have this conversation and we talk about all the stuff we want to do, and we wanted to make a smart house. So there are these chips that you can put in like certain devices. So you can put it like on the back of your phone or like in various spots for
like
for
potato
this.
chips.
No, like
Doritos.
I hate you. No, like
cool, spicy, cool ranch Doritos.
You know what that's like.
Facts. Hot.
They're like Bluetooth chips that basically allow you for one chip to speak to another.
Oh yeah.
To do certain things.
Yeah, I've seen people do that with the whole like music albums on the wall and shit like that. Yeah.
So we would put them in like the back of our phone case, and the whole concept was basically that when we enter the house, it would register which one of our chips entered the house, and it would turn our lights on in our room and start playing like a playlist that we want, or
that's teed.
Or like if it knew like we could develop basically social habits, and we could use like AI, so like smart learning.
Jarvis.
Like, what does this person do on a regular basis? And
Jarvis.
or we could formally program it, and it would basically be like, oh, Jackson every time he comes home goes straight to the kitchen and starts to cook, and so it would turn the kitchen lights on and start playing my music.
I need you guys to make
or
it
throw
have,
on my podcast.
I need you guys to make it have a voice, and it be Jarvis.
The problem is that I would have to record it. We would have to get a voice actor to record it. And I'm not paying somebody to do that, so it would be my voice.
Nah, bro, just email the person and be like, bro, can you please do this? Please.
No.
Imagine having Jarvis say, welcome home, Jackson.
I think I would want Friday more than I'd want Jarvis.
Swear.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Jarvis is OG. How dare you fucking disrespect Jarvis?
Yeah, but Friday is cool. And more advanced.
Continue.
So that was the whole concept, right? Is we would basically use machine learning, which is what it's called, to have it slowly learn with us too, like our habits and stuff. And that way we would never have to reprogram it. Other than like wiping it every couple months to get rid of like bad things that we don't want it to have anymore, or like tell it to stop learning this. So, it would be like, oh, Jaxon always comes home and takes a shower and goes to his room. So it would always turn on our room lights. Basically, was where we would start. Is that whenever one of us enters the house, room lights go up, and if it enters both of us, both of our room lights go up.
For one of your other roommates, it's gonna be like this roommate gets home, beats his dick.
Well, the implication was be just me and him living together.
Oh, I got you.
And then we would have it to where like our washer and dryer, right? We just take our clothes with our phone in our pocket, throw our clothes in, hit our phone on the machine, it starts running.
That's sick.
And then it sets a timer automatically.
That's fire.
And then it'll like notify us like, oh, our clothes are done. Go do the thing.
How would you even do that?
You just program it.
You say so like effortlessly. Like, is it through an app?
No, you'd have to program it. Sometimes the phone apps have like the chips have like partner apps that you can just use, but we could also just develop our own app.
That's crazy. That would be wild.
Mm-hmm.
You know how much money you'd make with that?
Not a lot.
Why?
Because of the fact that it would have to be, we'd want it to be open source, one, so that other people like us could use it. And two, people would have to have the chips and then program them themselves to recognize them.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't think, I'm going to bleep that out. It's okay. I'm going to bleep it out. It's fine. I don't think that me and him would have wanted to have to program a whole thing just for accessibility.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, that's basically the whole concept. Is like, is as long as we had our phones basically on us, we could walk into a room and the room lights would just turn on.
I feel you. Oh yeah, that's lit.
Yeah, it was super cool idea. I was super excited about it, and so was he. One, it would have cost a lot. Two, we didn't end up moving in together. Obviously. But yeah, I've been chasing that high ever since. So I think that it might be a project that I start on with Casey. Because I think it would be funny.
That'd be dope.
It'd be pretty lit.
I think it'd be
even
dope.
if it's just me and him who have it.
Yeah, that should be hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well.
But yeah, I think smart house, cool idea. I think that there's a lot of stuff in that innovation field that could come up that'd be pretty lit, as the kids say.
Well, I mean, this is the end of it.
Yeah, with that, I think we're gonna call it here.
Deuce out.
Yeah. Where can they find you, Brendan? You
can find me on Instagram at my name with 2 E's and like an underscore, some shit like that. We'll link it down. Twitter, Twitch at KillerB420 with 2 R's. Yeah, that's pretty much it, bro. We'll be posting more information on we made an Instagram, Twitter, and all that shit for our podcast, so it's coming soon.
You can find me at ArtQ on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all of that at ArtQ.
The whole shebang.
And then if you want to find both of us at Coming Up for Air, then you'll find all that stuff down below. But for the most part, it is Up for Aircast on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Gang shit, no lame shit. Stay easy.
Yeah. Other than that, we'll see you guys next week.
Easy breezy, beautiful.
Bye-bye.